Is that your guitar now?
I don't know why I didn't use it as a guitar prior to.
I don't
feel
know.
Like this is like perfect. Like Slash.
Just point it right at me.
You just need a top hat.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Hi guys. Welcome back.
Sorry, that was not my purpose.
Welcome back to Drinks on Danberry. We have
special guest today. It's really just a key. Oh my god. Hit your cup.
Mm-hmm.
Just a key.
We have wine today. Why do we have wine today,
Why
honey?
are you telling people what we're drinking? It could have been apple juice.
Fair point.
This is a family show.
You're right, my bad. It is Drinks on Danberry. We usually drink
it's apple juice. We usually drink
juice. So, do you want to introduce your guest that we have here?
If it's not already obvious. We've been a little MIA. I'm sorry. Life was lifing.
It was life and hard.
But we're good now, as you can see. Right? We have invested in our future.
See what you did there.
And we have officially closed
today
on our fourth property. We'll try to do this episode again. Not this episode, but another one on Sunday. I feel like this is the one we owe.
My husband stole the sign. He didn't steal. He borrowed it.
I will be giving
from
it back.
the settlement company. The title company that we used.
At some point before 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Eastern Daylight Time.
It. Yes. Welcome back to Drinks on Danberry. I'm Jasenia. It's my husband, Jose. How you feel?
Man.
I'm clearly he's happy because he won't go this key.
No, a whole episode. This entire 30 minutes, this thing's going to be sitting here. Like, you thought I was going to put it down?
It's literally going to poke me in the face. I feel it.
You thought I was going to put this down? Mm. Like, there's going to be bloopers galore on this episode.
I'm going to get hit. What?
Because, like, I'm not putting this down.
And why is that? Are you excited?
Don't. Right. Yeah.
Watch out.
I got the keys. Okay?
Yeah.
No Khaled.
We do have the keys, though.
Or Diddy.
Oh, pause.
Exactly. So we've officially... All right. Enough lollygagging. Right? We've officially closed on our fourth property. 9 total units as of today.
Yes. 4 properties, 4 years.
4 properties in 4 years.
Yes. Feels good.
It does.
I was kind of numb though, and
closing was fun. It's so funny when you like go to things that you've now started doing often.
Yeah.
And then you can tell like it's another person's maybe not. Like maybe the person hasn't done it as often as you've done it. Like any experience, right?
Yeah.
But like when you go to closing, you're like, yeah, okay, cool. Like you already reviewed the documents, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like it's not this like uptight like.
And what's this?
Black tie event. It's just like okay, like pay your loan on time to this person. Make sure this information is correct.
Right.
Does everything look good? Yes. Did you iron out all the kinks?
Addendums, all that.
Right. You're good to go. Right. But like and I honestly don't think it was that traumatizing our first time doing it.
No. It helps that we're in finance though. I feel like that benefits us, especially even our first closing. That we had. We understand the documents that are being presented to us, unlike somebody who is not in finance and they don't see.
I'm giving you the mic. Yeah. Right.
Thank you. Those documents often. So I can understand why closing takes other people, not like, I'm not saying it doesn't take us a long time because obviously it's still the same process, but some people may have a lot of questions. Like there's a lot of papers for a closing. I mean, it's a stack of papers. The buyer signs, the seller signs. Typically the buyer and the seller meet each other, but there's some people like, do you have questions on this? And for us, again, we've seen these type of documents over the years. Then on top of that, since this is our fourth property, this isn't a new song and dance for us. So we've been there, done that. We fully understand what is expected and what these documents entail, the details of it. We're just really verifying that our information is correct. Someone's name was incorrect on one of the documents. It happens.
They can hold that man accountable. I don't know who he is.
I thought I was like,
he gonna pay the loan. I don't know who.
Who's this?
Who Joseph?
They were like,
hey, Joseph. Yeah, loan to pay, bro.
I'm screwed because this is gonna be Joseph and myself.
Yeah, you married
my
twice,
name
bro?
was fine. My name was fine.
I'm off the hook.
But again, it's certain things like that where you do want to pay attention. And typically, title companies, not that that mistakes don't happen; they happen. Everyone's human. It's you're dealing on technology and an actual human being, so mistakes happen. But they also have addendums in there for if something like that, an error happens where his name was incorrect on one of them. It was Joseph and not Jose. And one of the documents that you're signing is saying if there's any misspells, errors, punctuations, whatever the case is, that they're able to fix it. It's not like we have to come back or it delays the process. So I was able to point that out. She had him just do one line initial, fix his name, and kept moving because we already had that addendum that we signed where they can fix it. So I'm going to probably hit this a few times.
That's fine. It's not moving.
Okay.
So just work around it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's I'm the guest in the house, not this, right? Kicking me out. So yeah, I mean, it overall was a really good experience. The seller was really sweet. Got a little bit about her backstory and why she was selling her multi-unit property, which was really nice because sometimes you don't get that information on why someone's selling it or why you want to buy it, blah, 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 all that jazz. However, she was really, really sweet. She was on time. She was. Yeah, some people. I mean, one of our closing. Someone
he didn't
was
even
late.
Show.
Oh, that was
we've only met 2 of the 4 closers.
Yeah.
2 of the 4 sellers. Sorry.
2 of the 4 sellers. Yeah, the first one. They were actually, I think, in a different room.
Oh, COVID.
Yeah, COVID. They were in a different room. The second one, he didn't show.
Yeah, he was on vacation.
He was on vacation in Mexico. Yeah.
That's the life I want.
Our property, we did meet him and his wife. And then this property, yeah, we met the seller. She was so sweet. But yeah, that was a really good experience. I kind of was numb during it. Again, it's like
give me sign.
Up to
keep it coming.
Signing the documents, or up to, I should say, closing. I was like super excited, super anxious. Not that I'm not excited. I was like super excited. Then once you're there, again, because we've been through this before and these are documents we see consistently, it's like it kind of felt like just like a transaction. And then afterwards, like we finished and we walked out of
it's like graduation. It's like there's so much like building up to it, and then afterwards you're just like,
I was like,
that's it? Like that's what you hype up, and now it's just like there's
okay,
no, like,
now it's our responsibility.
There's no like moving
of a tassel.
The tassel from one side to the other. It's just like they tell you, okay, well now everything's done, and now you all of a sudden feel like an owner, I guess.
So it's ours now?
Right, like
the hardest thing was figuring out the keys.
We still don't know what
We still don't know the keys.
3 units, 9 keys.
I was gonna say.
I hope these tenants don't mind. I won't be in there like.
Sorry.
You don't take me out with this damn key. My key.
You're not giving it back?
No. Well, yes, I am.
He is gonna give it back.
I have to give it back.
Yeah, no. We did promise them.
We did, and we're gonna need another title company if we don't give this one back.
Yeah, right. We like this title company.
And I feel like, all joking aside, like again, like we really need to remember that common sense to us may not be so common to everybody, but there's really no point of the buying a property process that needs to be traumatizing.
Yeah.
Get a good realtor. If you don't like your realtor, kick them out, right?
Get one that you're comfortable with.
Get one that you're comfortable with.
That you mesh with.
Talk to your lender, right? Whoever's lending you the money, whether it's you started the conversation with a banker, a mortgage loan officer, whether you have a loan coordinator who's keeping everybody in check, bother these people. This is their job. Their job is literally to make sure this process goes through. And this was the first time that I realized that at some point in time throughout the buying process, people can get discouraged. An offer doesn't get accepted, and you're just like, oh, whatever. If you have a realtor that's not responsive, whatever, like maybe it wasn't for me. But like if you've decided, like, hey, we're gonna buy a house, we're gonna buy a property, like that, commit. Yeah. Like everything in life, commit. Right? Full steam ahead. Stand on business. Ask questions. Get through the process. Because a lot of times the stuff we've learned has been from experiences.
Yeah.
We work for banks. We learned a lot being consumers. Granted, you start to being able to tie up loose ends when you work in banking, and then you're a consumer and you're just like, why am I making these recommendations? And then as a consumer, you find yourself in that situation where you need that recommendation. Like, oh, I remember this conversation now. So it's different. But at the end of the day, like, if what you want to do is buy a house, like buy a house. Ask questions.
It's okay to not know something.
Yeah,
even if you feel like it's a stupid question, ask the question. Because at the end of the day, like if that's going to keep you up at night, ask the question. Do the research. Talk to somebody, whether it's your agent, your lender, a friend who recently purchased a property, whatever the case is. Us, leave comments below, and we'll do our best to get back to you and definitely give you at least our experience, right? We're not complete experts on anything per se. However, we've been through this enough times.
Definitely expert. I would say we're expert.
Right, but I like specific fields.
Humbly.
I meant like a specific field.
Demurely. I had to throw that in there.
Cut that out. So, but just ask the questions, because again, if this is something that's going to bother you and you don't know it, you want to go confidently into a transaction that potentially is going to be one of the biggest transactions of your lifetime.
For sure.
You're spending a lot of money. You're taking a lot of time. And so is everybody else that's involved in there. Yeah. So you have your agent, you have the lender, you have the title company, you have the seller. If you're the seller, then you have the buyer, and a lot of, and like everybody takes so much time for this process to happen. Our process took, 25 days? That doesn't always happen. There's times that it's got pushed back further. There's times that I think it's the quickest it probably happened for us.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, this is the quickest that 100%. This process happened,
I was trying to
which
get
was
it
25 days. Yeah. Before, but sorry, I got sidetracked. But if you're not going to be confident and ready to fully be committed to this, you have to be for sure on what you're doing, because you're signing a lot of documents. And again, the title agent the agency is really good. They have everything laid out. They have someone who's going to answer all your questions. But again, if there's something that you have, especially like the term of your loan, that is not something like a title agency is going to have. Like they'll have that information, but they're not your lender. And typically your lender doesn't go there. Our lender came to for our second one? For the multi-unit.
She wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she was.
She was
I
there.
think it was an in-house title company.
Yeah. Though. That was when we didn't use this one.
Yeah.
But again, you may not have your lender there, where if you do have a question, where you can ask right at that minute, right before you sign. And of course, if you're signing on the dotted line, you want to know, okay, I'm signing this. I know what this document is, or at least the gist of it before you sign it.
You probably shouldn't save your questions for closing.
Yeah, don't save for closing. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead of time. Ask the questions. Text your agent.
Don't save your questions for closing.
Right.
General knowledge, maybe. But like, oh, I'm not okay with this. Like at closing, like you didn't have a cornucopia of opportunities.
Yeah.
To
do your walkthrough.
To ask your questions 100% prior to that moment. Mm-hmm. So my recommendation would be ask, and I'm going to be honest with you, like I meet people, I'm going to use the term ignorant, not ignorant in the sense of like they're choosing not to learn. Ignorant in this, ignorance means lack of knowledge for whatever.
Ignorant to an innocence.
Innocently ignorant, maybe. I don't know. But ignorant alone means lack of knowledge.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Whether you're choosing not to get the knowledge or whether you know no better. You don't know any better. Ignorance is ignorance. So, like, I don't remember the conversations where a person asked a dumb question. Like, I don't remember the dumb question. I just remember the conversation. So if you were interested in buying a home and you didn't even know where to start, and you said, I don't know where to start, my brain automatically goes to, well, this is where we start. And like I start listing the steps that you'll need. I don't think that you came to me without any knowledge on how to purchase a property. I just remember I helped somebody who may be interested in purchasing. Like,
I'm
hey,
glad
Jose,
you
these are
just
my
took the first
options.
step to ask the question.
Yeah, right. Like I don't remember. If I go home like and I remember all the people that I helped today, I'm not gonna remember. Boy, was that person like didn't know anything. No, what I remember is I had a conversation with somebody who was interested in purchasing a home, and I may have helped. I don't know if that's just how my brain thinks or if that's how everybody's brain thinks. But we don't remember as experts. I'm gonna call us experts. So if you're gonna speak for yourself. But as an expert, no expert is going to like belittle your experience.
If they do, they're not an expert and they're
Because
not
you don't know
professional.
anything. Because I'm going to be honest, the minute you become an expert in any field is when you realize how much experts in any other field, how valuable they are. Right? So if I need to learn about nutrition, if I need to learn about working out, if I need to learn about health, I'm not an expert in those fields. I'm going to go to the expert. But I understand if they're an expert is going to say, okay, well, I'm going to help you just like I would anybody else who's in your level, right? Who's at wherever you are, your stage in life. And that's how I see it. If I'm coming to somebody who's coming to me, first of all, you already made the step to have the conversation. You done got the nerves out of the equation. You're no longer worried about what this person's going to think about me. I'm trying to do something and I need information. Have at it. Let the floodgates open and have the conversation because it's the only way you're going to make things happen. I'm going to be honest, lack of knowledge probably caused like 2008. And I only use 2008 because it hangs like a cloud over my head. But there were so many things that I just like I get fearful when I see them today or when we bring them up, right? Or when we talk about a mortgage being financed for 100% of the value of the home. Or when we talk about reverse mortgages. Or when we talk about more than 2 liens on a property. Like I get antsy because these are situations that in reality, like I do not think this consumer was well educated in what they're doing.
Right.
They were just told, oh, well, you have equity in your home. We'll take the equity. We'll give you cash. Fine. Okay. Sure. Right. And then sign on the dotted line. Because maybe what probably happened is they were in such a tight spot that they felt like they had no other way to wiggle out of it. Yeah. Right? Whether it's swimming in debt or whatever the case may be. Oh, well, home equity is now your only way to get you out of debt. And now you're just like, okay, like sign. But again, like if you don't know how a home equity line of credit works or a home equity loan works or a mortgage works or an adjustable rate mortgage or a balloon payment or anything along the lines of that realm, finance, banking, credit, lending, you name it. Talk to an expert. Find somebody like your doctor. If you're not happy with your doctor, switch your doctor. And I am not a health professional. There, I'm not an expert at all whatsoever. I don't do medicine. Way too many long words just to tell me what the name of the back of the ear. What the heck?
Too much.
Way too much. No. I'm not even gonna. You see how I just like no, not doing it.
We're not even trying. We're not gonna try that.
God no. Finance, I got you. We can have this we could trade, have a conversation about finance, and you tell me about what is the name of the bone in the ear again?
The cartilage. I know what you're talking about, but like, isn't there like there's like little bones in there?
You see?
I don't know.
Clueless. No idea. Finance, we got it.
Yeah.
So it really starts with the asking, right? And again, you're gonna need a realtor, you're gonna need a lender, and you're gonna have to be okay with asking questions. Don't just think, oh, I got my home, like that's all that matters. It could, but in a market like today where rates are through the roof, real estate, properties are selling for the highest they've ever sold. Like those are times
the quickest it's sold.
And you know, some markets in the U.S. properties are being sold in 8 days. Like
8 days.
That doesn't even make any like between listing and offer accepted 8 days. Again, just
which is great for some people, but
for the seller.
Yeah, I was gonna say for some people, but not. It doesn't work for everybody. But again, before you go into something so serious as purchasing a property or anything in finance in general, like that's your livelihood essentially, right? You need money to live, at least somewhat comfortably. But just ask the question. Like, not one person that you're going to go to in finance who is a true professional, who's a true expert, is ever going to look at you and be like, did you just ask me that? They're like, I would rather you ask me the same question 5 times and you figure it out or be able to work it out than not ask me and try to wing something. And now you're like drowning in debt, or you have no clue and your one dream is to purchase a home and you just don't know what the first step is, but you don't want to take the first step to ask the question on where to start.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird because like we can talk about this all day long, but at the end of the day, like until people decide, like I see those whether it's reels or videos or
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the key still.
it's not going anywhere.
It's just like right here every time.
Those reels
Sorry.
and videos and posts about
That
how
was
like
great.
certain demographics, whether it's age range or whatever the case may be, can't buy. I honestly think it comes down to lack of knowledge, right? And we didn't learn everything we learned overnight. 10 years, 14 years in finance. I tell people Rome wasn't built overnight, but they were laying bricks every hour. Like every podcast you listen to, every TED talk, every article you read, you know, the more opinions you get, don't get analysis paralysis. Don't get so much information that now you don't know what to do with the information, and then you're counterintuitive, and then you don't act. Like that's defeating the purpose.
We're falling a rabbit hole.
Right, and you're just like more information,
And
more
just scroll,
information,
scroll,
more
scrolling.
information, right? The whole I'm gonna milk this for the rest of my life. The market's gonna crash, the market's gonna crash,
Oh.
the market's gonna crash since 2020 when rates were 2.75 and houses were steady, and now we're sitting here 4 years after, still waiting for this market to crash. Prime came in at six, a little less than 6.25. So I mean, but properties are still high. You know, and again, like there's so many. That's the problem with finance. There's so many angles. Economics,
Yeah.
banking, finance, credit, lending. So many like useful credit tips. Try not to use 33% of your credit card, or you know, like not too many inquiries in a year, and you know, don't spend more than you make. All that's like that's all stuff that like little by little, you add it to the, you know, the arsenal of knowledge you have, and you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to go house poor. I'm not going to buy a house
Right.
that's worth too much. If the bank says they can approve me for $500,000, that doesn't mean you have to buy a $500,000 house.
You do not have to buy it just because they
Easiest
say
one.
that you can buy it.
And that's the thing about these conversations. Like, unless somebody gives us a baseline on where to start, like we can, because there's so much knowledge out there. And in reality, like people are gonna be like, "Yo, how'd you do it? Like, what are the secrets?" Like, there's no secret sauce. You create a plan, you stick to it, and it's lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, like literally lather, rinse, repeat. Like,
How did I know
okay,
you were gonna say that?
no,
Lather,
you.
rinse,
There's
repeat.
absolutely
I knew it.
no way.
I felt it coming.
Okay.
You're predictable.
I gave you the key.
He's gonna milk that. He's gonna sell
Until I have
that.
to give it back. No, but that's really what it is. Like, once you buy your first property, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, well, it really wasn't that bad.
Right.
What do I got to do to buy the next one?" Does the game change? 100%. If you bought one and you can't prove to the lender that you can buy a second one,
Yeah.
why are they going to okay? They're not going to okay you to buy a second one, right? So it's just like anything else, right? Like you become an athlete, you win a game. Cool. What do we have to do to win another game? Like, all right, it's the same thing over and over. Like once you learn how to do something,
That's a good analogy.
there's I don't.
But
It's
think
just so
about
weird.
like if you take that analogy like an athlete, right? They don't go, oh, it's my season, so now let me work out, let me train, let me do this. They're doing that
year round,
consistently year round. Like it does not matter if they're in a competition or whatever the case is. They're doing it. If no one's looking, if they don't have a coach there, they're doing it. They're doing the training that needs to be done to get them stronger, to get them better, to move forward. And that really is similar when it comes to like buying a house and finance. And the reason why, it's because if you think about it, like if we want to buy another property, right? Mm-hmm. So what steps are we going to start tomorrow?
Literally today.
Yeah, well, today.
Like we were literally having the conversation. Like, all right.
Yeah, we were just having a conversation. I'm like,
what's
okay, so
fifth?
What's the next one, right? But when you have that mindset, and
don't hit my key.
I apologize, sir. So sorry. Again, when you have the mindset and you have a goal, right? It doesn't have to be a house. But let's just take us, for example. And now I'm already thinking, like the moment we left closing, I was like, all right, so next?
Right.
Right? So what's next? What are we going to do? And then now we know we can do it, right? This is property number 4. So we know we're fully capable of doing it. Now, what's the next one? Do we want to go another multi-unit? Do we want to go single family home? Do we want a townhouse? Whatever the case is, condo, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We can narrow that down.
Vacation home.
But now, what steps are we going to take, and are we going to start practicing immediately to start getting this? And it's obviously, tomorrow we're not going to go to a showing. We're not going to start inquiring right away to get a pre-approval.
You have been doing a whole lot of speaking for yourself this episode.
But we can control what we know is needed, and that's our finances. So just because we close on this property doesn't mean we get to ball out and just be like, all right, now we get to get reckless. Like, we get to do whatever we want. I get to go to Hobby Lobby.
Oh, whoa.
I get, yeah, all right now. I get to go get coffee or whatever the case is. We can still
coffee at home. What you mean?
Hold your key over there. We can take what we've been doing. It hasn't hurt us. We're not broken.
No, but
so we can take those skills and continue to apply it and make sure that we're prepared for our next property.
Yeah. No, but I mean, those were jokes, but they're not jokes. Like, they're not jokes. Like, we
jokes are not jokes. I'm confused there. What's happening?
In a joking manner.
Yeah.
There was truth behind everything we just said. First thing we did at the beginning of this year, we sat down and we budgeted every dollar that came in. We did. And I'd be lying if I said we didn't slip once or twice. 100%. Sometimes weeks at work are difficult, and you need to stop at
longer than the norm.
Right, and you need to stop at Wine and Spirits and grab something on the way home. That's fine. And you know, a special occasion, somebody wants you to come out and go out with them, whether it's a birthday dinner or somebody decides to throw a baby shower, whatever the case may be. You're like, all right, I didn't allocate this gift. I didn't allocate this expense. But there's always going to be room for that.
Absolutely.
And for 95% of the time, we're sticking to the plan. And it's never, I'm going to sound like a broken record. 9 times out of 10, it's not an income problem. It is a spending problem. But we budget. You
don't have to keep up with the Joneses. You do not.
I don't even like the Joneses.
This damn key is gonna kill me.
No, but it's 100% true. Like, we budget absolutely everything. Our grocery budget is the same thing every week.
Every week,
we know exactly how much money is coming in, where it's going, and it sounds crazy. And we're not saying, you know, this goes out to whether you're a single person, a married person, you're in a relationship. Like, the deeper you get into the relationship, the more and more your finances should become clear. I'm not gonna say you blend them. I would recommend you blend them, but as you get deeper and deeper, if this is getting serious, start blending your finances, because I'm assuming
easier if
you're staying with the person, your goals align, right?
Hopefully.
We're going to do this first, then that first, then that, then that. And if that's the case, then it would make sense for them to know, okay, well, this is what you're bringing. How much more work do I need to do, right? And then you start getting disciplined. Hey, we really can't eat out as much as we do. We got to cook at home. We got to stick to a grocery budget. It starts there. And then once you find yourself where you're just like, hey, Jose, like, Jesse, I think I'm ready to purchase a property, a home. What are my first steps? Boom, 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 boom. Right? Where are you? Do you have 3 of these 4, you know, in the bag, or maybe all 4? Great. What's my next step? Find a realtor. Okay, I have one. What's next? You know, you're literally to the point where you're just like, wow, like, if you're taking it baby step by baby step, the process becomes easy.
Yeah.
Right? But again, like, this could go for the people trying to do it once, trying to do it 4 or 5 times. Like, it doesn't matter. The process is to create a structure, stick to the plan, and wake up every morning and remind yourself why you're working towards what you're working.
Yeah. And to be honest, when you get accustomed to the structure that you choose to build, again, just because we have a structure doesn't mean that that structure is going to work for that household, a household over there, or a household over there. I work for this one, but not that one, whatever the case is. However, when you get the structure down, it really is, it becomes easier to follow it. It's the original, like, first few steps that you're taking into it that's kind of like, oh, this is so uncomfortable. Oh, I want to do this. Or I don't want to cook tonight, right? But then after a while, it's like, it just becomes the norm where it doesn't feel any different. Like right now, we just closed on the property, our 4th property, again, just throwing that out there. And I don't feel like there's anything that necessarily has to change. I'm comfortable with the budget that we have,
If anything,
the
we
money that we're
created
putting
breathing room.
aside. Yeah, and cooking at home, whatever, coffee, whatever the case you want, however you want to see it. And I'm fully confident that we can do it
The
again.
plan's gonna work again.
Yeah, we can do it again. Are there times again that you want to just be like, I'm just so over this, like I just want to go out, I want to do whatever. But when you stay consistent, you build that how do you say that room, I don't want to say room for error, but you that like cushion where you are able to do that. But again, you're not going out every week, you're not going out once or every month or whatever the case is. But when you do it every once in a while, it feels like a treat. It truly feels like, wow, this is why we do what we do.
Earn your dopamine.
Yes.
I say it all the time. Earn that cheat meal. Earn that drink. Earn that car. Sorry, that's
He's been throwing this in since we went to closing,
as soon
guys.
as we left closing, let's go buy a car.
I was like,
no. And I'm
let's
like,
calm down, guys.
I was really hoping you were going to match my energy on
that one. Because he would have went right to a dealership.
I would have. 100%.
Designing a Porsche.
The sooner the better. Maybe not a Porsche yet. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm working on it. But yeah, I mean, that was close to 30 minutes. We just ran
already past it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. But again, like, and for the next episode, we'll actually have the strategy and the blueprint and the outcome of how we, not how we did what we did, but like we'll actually have like, this is the stuff we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But in reality, like, this is how we were. I kept getting yelled at for not putting another episode up. So I was like, all right, we'll get it. You're going to get an episode about how we talk about literally the plan is you already know the plan. You got to do the things that you don't want to do. You got to stop spending the money you shouldn't be spending. You should save. You should budget. You should have the conversation. You should check your credit and start asking questions. Those are all the stuff that you don't, it's not that you don't know how to do it. Most people are choosing not to do them.
I will say, before we close out, the one thing you just said, people, and this is from experience, you don't have good credit or you're unsure of your credit or not confident of your credit, you're petrified to look at it because you're scared 100%. That it's going to go down. Again, this is speaking from experience. I was that person. I was like, exactly. I was like, if I don't look at it, it doesn't exist. It's not going to happen.
Wrong.
Now I'm like, let me see this bad boy.
Yeah, but you're watching podcasts on people buying 4 or 5 properties, and you're like, what the heck do I got to do? The first thing you got to do is check your credit.
Check your credit. Just see what's on it. It's okay if it's not good. It is okay. And
let's not do the whole, oh, I have to dispute this, and this. If it was you, pay the dang debt. Like, pay the debt. That's the other one.
It. Like if you can't afford the whole thing, just
I'm going to dispute this,
and that's okay.
Don't go to a credit repair. Nothing against credit repair agencies, but there's nothing they can do that you can't. Right. Sitting at your dining room table. Now you're going
to pay other people for something you have to pay anyways.
And they make money the longer you're a client. If they fix your credit, you're gone. They don't make money off of you. It's not rocket science. It's business. Like, that's exactly how it works. Look at your credit. Figure out what's wrong. If it's yours, pay it down. Do a payment plan. Ask questions.
But we can go more in that in like a next episode too. Next future ones. Yeah.
Oh boy, not credit.
Not the credit. Yes, but like I said, so we'll take it one step at a time. So next one we'll talk about our strategy.
Everybody who watches this video above 750 by the end of the year.
And well, my ask was at least look at your credit.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at your credit.
Yeah.
Just look at it. It's okay if it's not where you want it to be.
I think we should start like a consulting business down the road where it's like, I don't want your money because I'm doing anything for you. I literally just want I don't want your money. But like, hey, we'll sit with you for an hour, create a budget, create a plan, tell you the things you have to do. Like, go do it.
The hardest thing is honestly doing it and sticking to it.
And that's the problem.
There's so many.
That's why we can't help.
Yeah, I would say there's so many things. I would say like I don't want to say handicaps, but like there's so many. How would you say it, sweetheart?
There's so many what? I'm sorry.
There's so many things that can get someone sidetracked from their plan. Distractions that they really
Curry from the 3.
That they really don't stick to the plan because they're like, oh, this is so hard. It's so hard. Like I said, just stick to it. We're going to talk about the strategy next episode. We'll go into a little debt and then we'll just go from there. And again,
and ask questions. We really need stuff to talk about. If not, we're just going to be blabbing for a half hour.
We're rambling. Rambling, guys.
I have to go give this back.
Yeah, because they're going to close.
It's been fun. It's been real. It's been really fun. That's gonna be my closing tagline every
Thanks for
episode.
joining us on Drinks and Danberry.
That was
We're
boring,
out.
but whatever.
We're out. Oh, I was gonna remind you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to.
I can't stand you. You turned away.